Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto, and today I'm going to be giving you 10 video games you should invest in.
Well, you know about Retro Ghetto, collecting and playing retro. Street Fighter on the Nintendo. I'm a veteran at this, not a pro. Lock into the Retro Ghetto. Come and have a look around in the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples Settle. Lock into the Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at 10 games, as I say, that I think you will be able to make money on should you decide to invest in them. My motive isn't so much making money. I'm not buying these to sell them on. It's more saving money than anything. As you can see, I'm a collector and I want to buy these games now before they increase too much in the not too distant future. I'm not knocking the hustle. If you want to do it to make money, go ahead. I would like to say straight away before we get any further, nothing's a guarantee, right? Anything can happen. I might turn around and say this game is nigh on a guarantee, but you just never know what's around the corner. It might get re-released. The market might crash. Who knows? So don't spend your kids' milk money on it. Don't spend your kids' university fees on this. But yeah, if you want to play along at home, by all means, I think that these games will increase in value in the non-too-distant future. I do watch the markets quite a lot. I do spend a lot of my time monitoring the video game markets, and I've noticed a huge increase, particularly in America, on the PlayStation 3. Usually with a lot of these kind of trends, we're slightly behind our transatlantic cousins. So I would not be surprised if the PlayStation 3 does start to, skyrocket in terms of its value. It's still very cheap here for the most part, so now is definitely the time to invest. Also, if you watch the channel, you know that I'm going for a full Wii U set, so I've been monitoring the Wii U market very closely as well. One of the main reasons for me making this video today is that recently there's been a couple of Wii U games that I've had my eye on the CEX app, and overnight some of these games have gone up 20, 30, 40 pound. So now is the time when they really are starting to take up. Those mid-level games are starting to become mid to high level games. So I thought it was a good time to get this video out there now, give you guys some games which either you can make money on or pick them up now before you have to spend more on them. Okay, so the first few games I'm going to show you are games in which I already own. These are games which I think, as I say, will increase in value in the non too distant future. After that, I'm going to show you the games in which I've bought this past week. I've invested £100 of my own money to put my money where my mouth is, and yeah, show you guys that these will increase, and hopefully we'll do a follow-up video on this in non too distant future, and I'll be proved right. Okay, so the first game that I want to show you is a lower value one. I've tried to mix it up. I've tried to give you guys some lower value games and some higher value games. The higher value ones tend to have more of a chance of increasing in value, just like a stock market really. The lower the risk, the lower the reward. But I definitely think that you should be keeping an eye out on Fight Night Champion. The reason I think this game is, as aforementioned, PlayStation 3 is going to increase, but also because this is, firstly, a brilliant game, and secondly, it's the last boxing game that they've released. I mean, this game was released in, 2011? We still not really had a boxing game since then, not a licensed one anyway, and there's still nothing on the horizon. So for now, this is still the best boxing game. It still holds up well, and it's still £10 on CEX. I believe on both the Xbox 360 and on the PlayStation 3, this is a £10 game. Guys, you can't really go wrong with that, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you can pick up a copy of this or a couple of copies for in and around £10, put them on the shelf, believe me, the value will increase on this one. Okay, so sticking with PlayStation 3, this next one, the curve has already started. We're a little bit late to the party on this one, and that is Asuras Wrath. Now, this is a Capcom game which combines sort of anime with sci-fi. It's a very, very unique game, all of which will add to it, add to its mystique and add to its value. CEX are currently selling this on the PlayStation 3 for £32 and only £20 on the 360. As I say, with it having sort of anime themes, people don't just like anime, they love anime. People don't just like Capcom, they love Capcom. And when you look online and look on eBay, it's quite limited in its sales. There aren't too many copies of this knocking about, and already it's beginning to increase. I bought this for £10 at CEX roughly 18 months ago. So you can see that the huge increase already from £10 to £32 in a year and a half. I expect that trend to continue to rise. So this is definitely one to pick up now if you can find it for a decent price. Again, I believe this one will increase going forwards. Okay, so this next one, or two, that I'm going to show you is as much as a guarantee as anything else you will see on this video. Now, it will require a bit more of an investment on your part, and that is the Smoop Collection and Finding Teddy 2 on the Wii U. These were released by a French company called Pixel Heart approximately a year ago. I wish I'd bought multiple copies of these guys, because these were like about 30 quid each or something posted. And yeah, these are going up. At the moment, you can get these for roughly £100 each. I think one of these, I think this one is listed at the moment as one copy on eBay for £80. But generally, you're going to be looking at paying £100 each or £200 for the pair. Now, it does seem like quite a lot, but these were only limited in their releases. I don't know if you can see on the back, but there's only 3,000 copies of each of these games made. As we know, the Wii U is going to continue to increase in value. There will be people like me that are continually going to want a full set. With only 3,000 copies out there, people will be forced to pay for whatever you dictate they're worth. There's not many on there. There's not many on eBay now. I think there's probably 2 or 3 copies of each, if that. So yeah, if you've got a couple of £100 to invest, this is as sound a financial investment as you can make. And my advice is keep them sealed. The reason I say that is I'm not a sealed collector. I say at the end of all my games, play your games, but you can pick these games up on the Switch digitally for next to nothing. So if you do want to play them, I'd advise that you play them on the Switch. Keep these bad boys sealed. And yeah, there's no doubt that these will significantly increase in value over the upcoming, year or two? Okay, so this next one is a little bit of an honourable mention. This is just one to keep an eye on, guys. That is Project Zero on the Wii U. Now you may be thinking, Callum, why are you showing me this? We know it's one of the most expensive games on the system. It's not a secret. However, during E3, Nintendo unveiled that this was getting a re-release on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if it's going to be physical or just digital, but either way, I've already noticed the market changing. As soon as that information went live, a lot of people had already bought these to invest in, I think panicked, and there was literally 5 or 10 went on eBay overnight, and that trend has continued. There's been a lot put on eBay recently. One that wasn't in the best condition recently sold for about £100. Now these were going for sort of 200 plus. So just keep an eye on this one. I'm not saying now is the time, but keep an eye on this game in and around the launch on the Switch, because this may be one which is worth investing in, because I can see this game coming down before it will then inevitably go back up. So yeah, don't rush out and buy this now unless you can see it for in and around £100, but definitely keep your eye on Project Zero on the Wii U, because things are happening with this one. Okay, so it is time for me to put my proverbial money where my mouth is. The rules are as follows. I've decided to invest £100 into these games. I didn't want to just sit here and say, oh yeah, this will increase. Listen, guys, I'm going to take the risk for you. So yeah, I've put £100 of my own money into these 5 games. So what I'd like to do now is tell you basically how I selected them. As I say, the budget was £100, so I had to be mindful of that. Also, I own a lot of video games, okay? So obviously I only wanted to buy games that I don't currently own. I only wanted to add games that I wanted because, as I say, I'm a collector. I'm not doing this purely from an investment standpoint. And what I have done is I've used the CEX app. I purchased them on CEX just simply because from a YouTube point of view, that's the easiest way for me to show you guys any increases that we get going forwards. Rather than trying to calculate a mean average based on eBay, I figured the best way to do it was to buy them on CEX. Very easy for me to show you what I paid, and it's very easy subsequently for me to show you what the games are now worth. The way that I chose the titles was that I looked at the aforementioned systems, Wii U, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, that kind of era that I see increasing. I looked at games which are few and far between on eBay. So there's sort of, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies only on eBay and not many in the recent sold listings. And that are selling for more or in and around the price that CEX are selling it for, and also games that have been out of stock, because I've been collecting Wii U for some time now. A few of these games have been out of stock and I've had alerts on, so I've decided to almost catch CEX slipping, so when they do come back in, I get it straight away, and then I can, as I say, monitor it against eBay. So most of these games are cheaper on CEX currently than on eBay, so act fast. Okay, so the first one I want to show you is actually a 360 title, guys, and that is Splatterhouse. Some people refer to it as Splatterhouse 3, I believe. Now, this is on CEX for £20. On the PlayStation 3, it's currently 38. So the curve, again, with this one has already started, but I only see it increasing. The reason I went for the Xbox 360 copy over the PlayStation 3 was, firstly, I've got a budget of £100, so I didn't want to spend nigh on £40 on the PlayStation 3 version. Secondly, what you'll see inevitably happen as the PlayStation 3 prices increase is that the titles that were released on both systems, especially the rarer ones like this, will also increase. It's going to get to a point where people aren't going to want to spend 50, 60, 70 pounds on Splatterhouse, but because it's expensive, people will assume it's desirable. That's what happens, right? As soon as something becomes expensive, people want it. So the people will then inevitably buy it on the Xbox 360 where it will remain a bit cheaper. But I still see this one going up from the £20 it's currently listed at. From what I hear, it's not the best game, but it does have that nostalgia on its side. It does have the title Splatterhouse. People have a lot of fond memories of this game and of this franchise. The lowest one on eBay is 27, so already you're ahead of the curve by buying it for £20 on CEX. And as I say, you've got that horror crossover. The fact that there's a horror genre in there will also mean there's a larger fan base for it. There's less than 10 copies listed in the UK on eBay right now. And yeah, I just think at £20, now's definitely the time for this one. The trajectory has somewhat started, but only just. Okay, so the next 4 purchases are all for the Wii U. And in all honesty, guys, you can't go wrong buying Wii U games at the moment. You really can't. If you can buy any game in and around current market value or slightly below, it will increase. It's just inevitable. The Wii U has already started the increase. There's got a lot of people like me that think a full set is attainable, even though it's quickly getting more expensive than I imagined it would when I started on this journey. But yeah, there's only so few copies of these games sold, so inevitably a lot of these will guarantee to increase in value. They say I said the word guarantee. So the first one that I picked up is Tank. Now the reason I purchased this is the most expensive one of the 5 that I bought on the CEX app for £28. And the cheapest one on eBay at the moment is £40. So you can see why I invested 28 into this one game. The cheapest one you can currently buy elsewhere is 40. And that's similar as well if you look at the sold listings. A lot of these games that started off as mid-range games and you know were £20 not long ago are starting to become to the £30-40 bracket. So definitely invest in Tank. As I aforementioned, there was a couple of games that prompted this video. And those games I was monitoring on the CEX app. I had an alert set up. I got the alert. I didn't buy it straight away. I was busy working or whatever. I came to buy it few days, a week later, and it had gone up significantly. Those games were one of the Phineas and Ferb games, and also Jet Tailfin. So they were 2 that I was after in my collection, and honestly guys, they went up in value, I think sort of 30-40 quid overnight. So don't sleep on these. Tank. Okay, so the next one is Turbo, to give it its full title, Turbo Super Stunt Squad. This was only 15 quid on CEX, and there was only 3 on eBay, and they're selling for sort of 25 to 30. This is an uncommon game. What you often get with these sort of games, this is a DreamWorks game, often with children's films that are later ported to consoles, they don't always sell that well, and then they therefore end up being uncommon games. You look at games like The Croods, and also, as I say, Turbo. This is on the increase. CEX have still got it underpriced. They will catch up soon. But yeah, there's only 3 on eBay, all of which are more than £15. So get involved with Turbo. Be quick with Turbo. That's a better pun, right? Okay, so this next one, I wanted to show you guys a lower end one. I didn't want you to have to invest loads of money to play along at home. This one is just £10 on CEX, and that's Planes, Fire and Rescue. Don't get it confused with the original Planes game. Somehow they made 2 of these games. I don't know why. But yeah, all these sort of Disney games, similar to what I've just mentioned with Turbo, they didn't sell massively, and they will go up in value. There are similar prices out there at the moment on eBay. You could potentially even get it cheaper than the £10. But as I say, I wanted to show you guys a lower end investment. It's Disney, it's Wii U, it's a guarantee. Okay, so the last one that I purchased is Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Again, I think there's more than one Transformers title, so be aware of that when you are looking at these games. This was £22 at CEX. When I looked at this originally, when I purchased this 4 or 5 days ago now, maybe last week, you know, a lot of the eBay sold listings were £35. There has been a couple listed on eBay since, and they're actually cheaper than the £22 in which I paid. So fill your boots, and this one will increase. It's a popular franchise. Again, I don't think it sold massive amounts of copies, this one. Yeah, definitely one to invest in. This is probably the only one on the list that you can guarantee you can go and buy right now for less than I paid, £22. I think £22 was a decent investment. So if you can get this for £15, £16, £17, I'm not sure if there's manuals on those copies, but yeah, fill your boots, guys, because as I said, with a lot of these film franchise titles, they didn't sell massively, but with one like Transformers, where it's got a big fan base, from what I understand, the game isn't that bad, and yeah, you will make a return on this one. Okay, so there we have it. I've given you guys 10 games that I think will increase in value. Whatever your motive is, whether it's to make money, save yourself money, or just something to do to play along at home, like as stocks and shares, because video games have become a stock market, and I think that's part of what I enjoy with my collecting. I enjoy monitoring the trends, and after my years of experience in doing so, I think that these are 10 games which are definitely worth investing in. As I've already said, there's no guarantees, so please don't spend your nan's pension money on these guys. But yeah, if you do want to play along at home, let me know how you get on. Let me know if you purchase any of these. Equally, if there's any other games you think I've missed, if there's any other games that you think are currently rising, not so much things like Pokemon and games like that we all know are on the increase, that you have to make a significant investment in now, but more the sort of ones that have gone a bit under the radar that you think will increase in the not too distant future. Let me know in the comments. Let's share the love. There's a lot of negativity, I think, in the gaming community of trying to keep these things to yourself, and oh, YouTubers raising the prices. Bullshit, right? It's all part of the community. If I think I can help you guys make an investment, I'll deliver that to you, and then you can do with the information as you will. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what you think is getting out there. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see all of you people on the next one. It's coming home.
Retro Ghetto.